So we are about to go ahead and get into this mini wig tutorial. This is also gonna be like a story time of when this lady tried to fight me as I was on my way to the beauty supply store. But before we get started, you want to go ahead and make sure that you have a wig cap, because the first step, or like the second step to installing you a wig, is your ball cap method. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and push those edges completely back so that there is no hair around the perimeter as I cut my cap. So yeah, so that morning I was actually like in my bed, and for those of you who don't know, like I do waxes, like I'm in esthetician school. So that morning the lady was like, well, my client was like, hey, I'm blah blah blah, we're gonna call her we're going to call her Raven. So Raven direct messaged me on Instagram and was like, hey girl, I'm trying to see if you have an appointment for a wax. Me and my best friend actually wants to come and do the Bestie Brazilian. I'm like, okay, hey girl, like, yeah, you can come. I gave her a time and she was trying to do it for the same day. So I was like, okay, cool. I gave her a time and I realized that I didn't have any like wax left to do a wax. So, you know, I get up, me and my daughter, we get up, start our little day, got dressed, and I'm heading to the nearest store that has the wax. We get up, we, you know, get in the car, you know, everything going good. I'm having a good day. You know, I just woke up and I'm waking up to some money, like, you know, making some money with them. For those of you who live in Mississippi, I live in Ridgeland, and the beauty supply store is in Madison. So it's like a 8-minute drive from my house to like the beauty supply store. Not the beauty supply, Sally's. Like 8 minutes from my house to Sally's. So okay, cool. I get over there and we're driving, we make it, you know, we still vibing, we having a good day. I don't even remember if it was like the weekend or what, but you know, that's not important. However, we pull up in the parking lot. I'm driving, and like the Sally's is like, it's like a little shopping center or whatever. So it's connected to like Walmart, Cato's. I think it was Cato's, either Cato's or like, yeah, it was Cato's, I believe. And you know, I'm driving in the parking lot, and next thing I know, as I'm turning to like park in the parking lot, a lady steps off of the curb, and I immediately, like, y'all, I'm not kidding, and I would never do anything like this, like, you know, purposely, or do anything to like hit somebody with my car and stuff like that. Come on now, like, that's not me. But anyways, so when you put your cap on, you gonna use your little Gatsby sprays, or you gonna use this. However, sis is out. I need to get some more, but yeah, you just gonna spray it around. So I immediately stopped because I'm just like, oh shoot, like this lady, she stepped off the curb or whatever, and you know, she walked kind of like towards my car. So I immediately stopped. So she instantly like this. I'm like, okay, attitude, like just being very, very extra. Like, girl, I literally stopped my car. Like, all that is unnecessary, because yeah, very unnecessary. However, I could see, like, continue to park my car. Mind y'all, my daughter is with me, and we get out of the car. She's standing outside of Cato's, and you know, I'm a little aggravated because I'm just like, nobody tried to hit you. Like, what reason would I have to like run you over, or whatever the case was that she thought. So, you know, I'm aggravated, and my facial expression showed that I was aggravated. So I get out the car. She's standing by Kato's. Sally's is literally like next door to Kato's, and she's on the phone. So me and Kennedy, which is my daughter, we walk by, and she's on the phone. We make it all the way to Sally's door, and I'm not even paying attention to the time. Like, Sally's wasn't quite open yet. So I had pulled on the door, and I hear her, because like, she was like,
"Cause how you got an attitude when you almost hit me?"
I turned around, I was just like, ma'am, nobody tried to hit you. And she was just going off at the mouth and blah, blah, blah. Like, honestly, I don't even remember what she was saying. But she was just talking so much crap. So at this point, you know, it's obvious that this conversation is not going to go anywhere. She wants to put on a show for whoever she was on the phone with. And quite honestly, like, I don't like arguing, and I do not like confrontation. I'm too grown for that. And I'm not trying to act a fool, and I got my daughter. So we're going back and forth, and it was like to the point to where she was like,
"Oh yeah, cause I'll whoop your ass and this, that, and the third."
And all of that, you know, just being real ghetto, real ratchet. Like, you can look at her and tell that she was just trouble. Okay, so story time break. Get your blow dryer. Once you do the little spray, you're gonna go ahead and blow dry that Gots to Be spray down so you can get ready to cut the excess cap off. So anyways, she on the phone. I don't know what the person was saying that was on the phone with her, but clearly they weren't trying to tell her any better, because she just kept running her mouth. So we're arguing, we're going back and forth, and she decides that she wants to walk in my personal space, like start walking towards me. So everybody knows when a person walks up on you and get in your personal space, or just anything of that matter, you know the first thing that you're thinking to do is to get ready to fight, because those are fighting actions. If you're walking up on me, getting in my personal space, talking smack, telling me you're gonna whoop my ass and stuff like that, we're getting ready to fight. But I could not do that because my daughter was right there. And I pride myself on being the best mom for my child. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm being perfect. But it's like, at the same time, that's not something that I want my child to be able to remember or say to her friends, like, yeah, girl, I was with my mom and she got into a fight with this lady. Like, that's nothing that I want her to be able to say, right? So she walks up in my space, and at this point, my daughter is screaming. She is crying. And so it's like, I'm even more mad because you in my personal space. I always do that. Make sure that you do not cut the cap too short. You're all in my personal space, and you're on all this rah-rah behavior, which is very much ghetto, you know? So people were like walking in and out of stores and everything, y'all. Like, it was a hot mess. She goes to say, you better be glad your daughter with you and stuff like that. Basically like threatening me or trying to tell me that my daughter saved me. Now, mind you, had that lady, you know, just brushed up on me to the point to where she laid hands on me, I just would have been out there fighting. And I just would have simply had to apologize to my child, because at that point, it was like self-defense type stuff. It's bad enough you walked up on me, you doing the most, and I had my kid. It was giving very much like the bottom of her feet was dirty. Like, that's the type of vibe that she was giving me. And mind you, I haven't had a fight since my senior year of high school. So I'm like, girl. And we in Madison County. Madison County is not going to play the radio. You're going to jail. Like, they don't care who started what. All they know, two people out in the public causing a disturbance, and you're going to jail. That was another thing that I had to keep in mind. And I just have a lot going for myself. So that's not something that I wanted to be on my record for this dust mite. Like, no. So she ends up walking away, and I immediately had called like my aunt and stuff like that, telling her what was going on. Called my sister, because my sister lives in Jackson. Called my sister, called my aunt. My aunt was like, you need to call the police, like, now. So I immediately get on the phone with the police and inform them about what's going on. When I say the police didn't play no games, they didn't waste no time getting to that store. They didn't waste no time getting to the store. They pulled up like ASAP, like they was already in the local area. So they pulls up. By this time, Siston already went in the store. Like, I can't remember. Like, I kind of feel like she knew that I had called the police, and she got it, like, she went in the store. Mind you, you would have thought, and I think like her mom or somebody was in the store, because when she walked out, there was someone with her, and it was like an older lady. So it possibly could have been her mom, because they got in the car and like the other lady was driving or whatever. So the police gets there, and they're asking me like, what's going on? They asking me like if I know the lady and stuff like that. I'm like, sir, like, they asked me so many times, different officers. They were like, do you know her? Like, do you know her from somewhere? I'm like, no, like, I do not know this lady. She said that I tried to hit her with my car, which I did not, and it went from there, y'all. So she's in the store while they're talking to me. Some officers went in, talked to her. They went in to talk to her. I don't know what she told them or whatever, but basically it was like the complete opposite of what I had said. You know how they go, people cause confrontation, the cops get involved, and they flip the script. That's basically what it was. And when she did come out of the store, she didn't say anything to me. Like, she didn't even look my way. Like, I'm still talking to the police, and they're like, do you want to press charges and stuff like that? So I'm just like, at the time I was like, yeah, I want to press charges, because I'm just like, I'm not gonna be out here arguing and fighting with no Dusty. And I'm just like, I had said at the time, like, what if we see some like each other out again and we have another altercation or whatever? But I had to think about it. I'm like, what are the chances of me and her being in the same place? We were like completely night and day. I carry myself in a different manner, meaning we just wouldn't be getting caught in the same place unless, like it was, in the little shopping area. Child, anyways, make sure you're not putting glue on your hairline. It goes on your forehead, so you won't pull your edges out. But child, anyways, so that happened. Me and the police, we stood talking, and I know once I called my sister, she was gonna be like, where you at? Which she did. She was telling me that, you know, she was like, oh, we gotta go. She thought I was in Vicksburg. She was like, oh, we finna have to go to Vicksburg. I said, nah, babe, I'm in Madison. One thing about it, my sister gonna roll up. She gonna pull up, and vice versa. Like, if somebody messes with my sister or trying to find my sister, I'm gonna pull up. Like, that's the only thing. Or somebody fooling with my child or my money, that's what's gonna make me fight. You know, like a real reason to throw some hands, because all the other foolishness is not worth it. But anyways, so me and the police were still talking. They was like, is there anything else that we can help you with? I was like, no, I'm good. I proceeds to go in, and mind y'all, I had the client now. And I cut my cap too short, but whatever. It's not gonna be laying on it anyway. Mind you, I had my client. My client was getting ready to head to my house while all of this is going on. So as I'm waiting on the police to get there before, you know, the end of everything, I had to hit up the girl and be like, girl, I'm gonna be a little late. Bear with me. I'll explain it to you when I get back to the house during your appointment. Mind you, this is a new client, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so unprofessional. Like, I started to panic, and that's what I was telling the officers and the lady who worked at Sally's, because she actually seen everything happening, and she seen when the lady started walking towards me. She was like, yeah, I had to get out, because I was just like, nah, we're not gonna do this. And because she seen the lady like walking towards me, she heard us arguing and stuff like that. And she was just like, no, like, I just can't sit here and do nothing. And she also seen my baby crying. And like heard her crying because she was screaming like loud. My baby, like, she don't like stuff like that. Like violence and stuff. No, she does not like that. So it made her freak out, and she started to cry. The lady got out, and she was like, yeah, I was sitting in the car, and I seen everything I seen when she was walking towards you. Then I seen your daughter crying. So I'm like, I gotta get out and do something and stuff like that. So she was able, like, she was standing right there with me when the police came, just basically telling them that she saw everything, and everything that I was basically telling them, like, what happened. So this is the wig I'm about to reinstall from Amazon. And when y'all reinstalling the wigs, please void that lace. Clean that lace off, because you do not want all that extra buildup like around your lace, because it's gonna give crunchy. Like, you need to simply clean it. And what I do to get all the gunk like off my lace so it can be clean, I just boil it. I put it in a skillet with some water and boil it. I need to take this off. But child, it was crazy. So after all that went down, I was able to go in Sally's, ouch, and get what I needed to get and go and take care of my client. Because mind you, I still had to go home, put the wax on, set my table up, and all that. Because my table was in the car from when I was calling myself practicing lashes. But child, I gave it up immediately. Like, I can't do it. So I'm coming home, having to explain this to my client, what happened. It was just embarrassing. Like, I mean, it was out of my control, because that's nothing that I expected to happen. You know, you leave your home, you don't expect to happen, like, no confrontation between nobody to like happen, and it caused you to be in a situation like that. Like, who does? And I don't even be in drama. Like, I don't do drama. I don't be having a reason to be a part of any drama, because I'm not associating myself with, you know, anything like that. I'm not trying to say that I'm like this perfect person and stuff like that, but when you trying to be somebody in life, baby, being in mess literally be like the last thing that you be wanting for yourself, especially when you a mom. Like, don't nobody be having time for all that foolishness. This is probably like my, I don't know what time wearing this wig. I like it. As you can see, it was real easy to like put on. So I definitely like it. But girl, yeah, this what happened. I got back, I'm rushing, trying to go ahead and do everything for my client so I can get her set up, because like I said, like, I had 2 to do that day because it was a bestie Brazilian. So I'm like, baby, you out here acting a fool, and there's money to be made back at the house for me. I don't know about you. Didn't really look like she had nothing else to do, clearly, but me, on the other hand, had a lot to do. But moral of the story is, be careful out here because people are crazy. Like, some people don't have stuff to lose, so they be willing to help you lose it all, you know? And that's just how it is. Before you guys go, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you are notified every time I drop new content. See you next time.